Hello YouTubers, Zagro here, and today I wanted to show y'all a very interesting tool that a lot of just basic everyday home techs don't generally think about as something that would be useful, and that is a little butane torch like this. You can pick these up at Radio Shack or Home Depot. You can find them sometimes even in places like Harbor Freight. They're incredibly useful little gadgets. They run off of the same butane you would use for a lighter. There's a little bottle of it right here. And I'm going to show you how to fuel up the thing, set the temperature, light it, know when it's hot, and do a little bit of component harvesting on a small little device that I picked up at a Goodwill. This is just a little walkie-talkie, and I want to grab some of the components off of it for some other projects. Probably won't be doing videos on these, but mainly because of the fact they'll be outside and I'll be working on them bits and bobs, but who knows. Anyway, I want to grab a few things out of this, and for this I'm going to go ahead and use the butane torch. Now, these come in handy when you don't quite have a plug nearby, if you're working outside, or basically anywhere where that pesky cord will get in the way. These things are highly adjustable. They generally hold good heat, and for the most part they stay lit when lit. There are a few bad ones out there, of course, so your experiences may vary. Let's go ahead and open this up. I gotta be careful not to lose the heads, so let's go ahead and get this open. Now, this is my first time opening this particular one. I've never used this particular model before, so expect a couple of hiccups while I find all of the various access ports. We've got our little manual here. And let's see what we've got here. Basic stuff and a warranty card. Now, what you generally get with these is a torch head itself. A nice little torch head here. It's an interesting one. Normally they just screw into the top. Or is this for the, let's see, is this for the, okay, this is for the solder heads. See if I can get this loaded on here. There we go. Let me get out an appropriate tip. This one should work nicely. Screw the tip into the end of the head here. And we have our assembled device. Now, okay, evidently this particular one works by turning the handle to increase gas flow, decrease gas flow to off, and charges down here at the bottom. This is a slightly different charger than what I am used to. This is a pin charger, so gotta line it up pretty close. Get an idea what I'm doing here. See if I can get, yeah. Okay, that should be more than enough fuel for now. If you get the chance, get one with a glass reader. And now we have our lit torch. I'm trying to light off here for a second. I think maybe this needs to go down a little bit more. But it doesn't go down anymore. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get it started up. And adjust our flow to its just, come on. There we go. This particular one takes a little bit of nibbling to get to. When you get that nice little glow there, that's when you know you've got your heat right. And you adjust the flow to adjust the heat setting. It is not supposed to have a flame blowing out the side of it like so. So that is what you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I don't feel like burning up my desk. And we're going to take the little gadget apart. I'll set the screwdriver down here on the side so I'd find it, and I can't find it. It appears to only have one screw holding it together. Maybe two. There might be one underneath this label in here. There we go. Any more? One more. Okay, that's 3 screws. I don't believe it's hiding a 4th one anywhere. Well, let's see if we can get it split into 2 now. Survey says there is one more hiding up on the antenna. Now we can take it apart and see what we have access to. Well, a couple of things I can tell you right now is we have 3 AAA battery holder. This can easily be trimmed down to size for a different project. We've got the Okay, for salvage, it looks like we've got a glop top, which is stuck there. This is probably an RF cam. This is probably a small transceiver. 2 small capacitors. A crystal, which I'll have to look up the numbers for. 2 more capacitors. A ceramic capacitor. This is either an adjustable pot and or an adjustable capacitor. Uses nothing but a spring antenna. Let's see if we can get it out of its little home. And a little speaker. I think for the purposes of this video, I'll just undo the speaker, since it seems to be easy enough to get to. Go ahead and turn my work light back on so I can attempt to see what I'm doing. Hello, that's actually connected. Hooray! It's been open for all of 3 or 4 minutes, or look at your clock, and I've already managed to melt some plastic to it. This is why I normally do this outside in the shop. Take it out of the light, look for it. Wait for the cherry glow. Once we get our glow, turn it down. Come on. There we go. Now we've got a cherry red tip. Well, cherry red, I think they call these mantles. We're getting the tip nice and hot. Let me track down where I'm going to be attacking this. I do have all of my other little solder removing tools. I just don't have them in the room with me. Okay. So let's quickly desolder this little wire here. That's 1, that's 2, and it's off. And I probably didn't even have that in camera. So let's do the battery bay yet next. And the battery bay is attached pretty much the same way the speaker was. So I'll put a little tension on the wires. And this would be a lot easier, folks, if I had a newer pair of glasses. Okay, that's got the red wire loose. But I don't yet. I should be ordering them this month. But every time I put the work down low enough for the camera to see it, I can no longer see it. So I'm bound to burn my thumb eventually. Oh, I'm hitting a little thing. There we go. Okay, very easy to use, relatively quick. Once you get the mantle going, it seems to burn cleanly. See, is there anything else in here I can take off quickly? Well, there's a nice fat microphone here, but I'll probably have to remove other stuff before I can get to it. Let's see. What to choose, what to choose. I don't have my pliers here, so kind of limited in what I can grab. Let's go ahead and take this, crank up the heat. Still got our cherry red little cover there, yep. Go ahead and take off this antenna. Now, this is a through-hole piece. Normally requires a pretty hefty soldering iron to remove that. So let's go ahead and try to get it off of there. Let's try to push through from the this side first. I don't want to touch the LCD because that's the main part I wanted to save out of this project. Oh, she's moving. Let's try it from this end. See if I can heat the copper up enough to release it. Come on, you can do it. Like I said, it would be much more helpful if I could actually see what I was doing. I just had you partially loose a second ago. One second, folks. There we go. Just so you know, when I put fuel in it earlier, I barely put any in it at all. This thing takes about 30 seconds to actually fill. And I don't have a glass monitor on it, so I'm not used to filling it. There we go. One antenna. And I did it off camera again, didn't I? Ugh. Okay, what else can I pull off of here? Yeah, this might come off relatively easily. Might. Probably won't, but might. Well, it's melting the solder. But I think there's more connections to it than just the solder. Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere with that. I'll have to do it from this side. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now you're coming off. This works a lot easier if you happen to have a good pair of spring-loaded needle nose on hand, which I neglected to bring with me. So let's see, anything else that I can use within the next couple of hours? Nope, not really. The capacitors look nice, but I'm going to need the needle nose to get those loose. And I think that is surface mounted. At least I don't see where it's poking through the board. Or do I? Aha, I think I do. So it must be glued onto the board. Aha! Now, if I do this right, I won't damage the microphone. Ta-da! I hope that was in camera. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, just to make damn sure I at least get one of these on film, here's a surface mount that I will quickly attempt to take off here. This usually works a lot better. Actually, I probably won't be able to do it. No, I'm going to definitely need needle nose. Okay, I think I've got all the big bits off of here. Anything I can take off that's going to be immediately useful anyway. And the only other thing I want, which is that cam in the screen, I'm going to have to use needle nose to get loose. Okay. That is a butane soldering torch. And as you can see, it's very hot very fast. You can use a really nice... gets very hot very fast. You can use a really nice fine tip on it. Works wonders. They're infinitely adjustable. Go ahead and turn off my light here. The lower you turn it, the lower the mantle glows, the cooler the iron. The higher you turn it, the higher the mantle glows, the hotter the tip. Now, I will admit, this was an interesting one to use. First impressions. I have never seen one light this way before. And, well, honestly, normally when I have to light these things, I end up usually having to use a lighter. This is the first one I've ever owned with an automatic lighter. But it's also the first one I've ever seen that you had to turn it up so high and then basically have it blow a flame out the side for a couple seconds. It's relatively simple. You just get the mantle hot and then turn it all the way down, then turn it back up again. And there you go. It works damn good. Improvements, I would have a sight glass on here somewhere to let you know how much fuel you had. It would make it a lot easier to fill. Let me just cool off a minute. Filling, on the other hand, is easy. Considering the amount of fuel I put in it, it lasted a very long time, and it's still got plenty in it. But to fill it, all you do is you take this little pin down there in the bottom. Hopefully the camera will get this into focus. You've got your regular butane lighter thing. You stick the pin. You stick the pin in the hole of the butane torch. You turn it upside down, and then you push. And you don't do what I just did and miss the pin. There we go. Pin in the middle, push. And it will start to fill. And you just listen for it. You let it up every now and then to equalize, and you push it back down again. Let it up again, push it down again. Let it up again, push it down again. And you just go by the sound of it. One thing I will recommend after you immediately fill it. Once you think you've got it completely full, or to its capacity, the cap back on. Now, at the moment, I do believe I have this completely full. I could be wrong. There's no sight glass on this thing. But this is coming from someone who's used these plenty of times in the past. Always turn it on for a second, let it go for a bit. If it's over full, it'll spritz some of the stuff out the top. After it's gone for a bit, test it. Make sure it lights okay. Make sure you've got good airflow. Each one sounds a little different, so get used to the way yours sounds. And play with it for a while first before you go doing any delicate work, so you can get used to the heat. These things do heat up very fast. They cool down very fast. And they're great for indoor, outdoor work. They come with many different types of tips, one of which I dropped on the floor when I burnt my finger on the plastic. But you can see here the big fat bladed tip and one of the other Sharpies. The dull one kind of bounced onto the floor, which I'll pick up with a magnet here in a moment. And remember, always keep your tips clean. When it cools off, try to put them up. I've got a little case for this somewhere in here. I've got to go track it down. And that is a butane torch. If you're wondering exactly which kind of torch this is, it is just named pencil torch. I picked this particular one up at Harbor Freight. I didn't see one at my local Radio Shack, unfortunately. Would have been nice if they had it. Alternately, these generally also come with like extra heads, torch heads. You can actually use this as a pencil torch. Once the tip cools off here enough, I can take it off and use it as a standard butane torch to heat up stuff. In fact, if you're in a hurry and you've got a clean side of the board, you can pretty much melt all of the bits off of the other side of the board just by hitting one end with the torch. That takes a little bit of practice. It's easier to do with a heat gun. I do that when I'm like depopulating old motherboards and stuff for harvesting parts. Now, what we've managed to collect here Okay, this is just a simple push button. We've got a microphone. And, well, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I can use it as a spring, but the antenna itself. Later on, I'm going to take the screen off. Once I get my whole kit out here, I'm going to take the screen off, and actually, I'm going to go into the shed and do that. Take the screen off, get the rest of these caps off, and I don't do too much with surface mount stuff, mainly because I can never get the damn things back on the board without a stereoscope. So that is what I'm going to be fiddling with right now. And for now, this is Zagro signing off, and happy desoldering.